what's up mga parekoy? I'm back with another video. Please subscribe sa ating channel and click the notification bell button para palagi kayong updated sa ating mga videos. So our topic for today would be solution of right triangles. We will be solving for an unknown angle, an unknown side of a right triangle. Basically guys, I would like to emphasize that ang mga examples natin dito ay galing sa ating reference book na nirecommend ng school, which is the trigonometry book from Paul, I think Paul Rider. Paul Rider. Ito po yung ginagamit ng mga teachers for the references. Okay. First here is the solution of right triangles. Now, first step palagi pag magsisimula natin mga ganitong problem is to illustrate. Mas magandang illustrate muna natin para mas madali nating maintindihan yung problem. Sabi dito, a wire is stretched from the top of a vertical pole standing on the level ground. So there's a vertical pole. There's a vertical. Ibig sabihin, vertical pole yan. And sa top daw, mula dito, nag-stretch sila ng wire. Maybe it's on the left or right. It doesn't say. But I will choose going to the left. Then, it's on the level ground. Ibig sabihin, horizontal yan, guys. Okay. Now, the wire reaches to a point on the ground 10 feet from the foot of the pole. So this is where the wire reaches. And this is the foot of the pole, and it says that the distance with that is 10 feet and makes an angle of 75 degrees with the horizontal. This is the horizontal, this is the wire. Ibig sabihin, ito yung 75 degrees. So we are given one angle and one side, and specifically that side is the adjacent side. So how can we now solve for the values? Here, sabi dito, find the height of the pole. This is the height of the pole and the length of the wire. This is the opposite side. This is the hypotenuse. So let's solve for that. Basically guys, pwede tayong gumamit ng, yung gagamitin natin is trig functions. It can be either cosine or tangent. So for now, I prefer to use cosine. Cosine theta, as we know, is adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, so let's substitute values. Cosine theta, that's cosine 75. Cosine 75, adjacent with that is 10. And hypotenuse, that is the unknown. Ito yung hinahanap natin. So to solve for that, transpose natin yung hypotenuse sa kabila. That would be cos 75 times hypotenuse is equals to 10. Para hypotenuse lang yung matira, i-divide natin both sides by cos 75. Magka-cancel yun. The value of our hypotenuse would be equal to 10 divided by cos 75 is equals to 38.64. So guys, the value of our hypotenuse is 38.64. Now, next for us is to solve ano naman yung other sides. You have two choices. We can also use trig functions, or pwede naman tayong gumamit ng Pythagorean theorem. For me, I prefer using trig functions para mas madali. So I will use sine theta. Sine 70 is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Sine 75 is equals to our opposite, and hypotenuse, as we have figured it out, is 38.64. So to solve for that, transpose natin yung 38.64 sa kabila. 38.64 times sine 75 is equals to the opposite side. So to solve for that, using our calculator, sine 75 times 38.64 is equals to 37.32. So the opposite side is equals to 37.32. So this 37.32. So these are our final answer. This is the height of the pole, and the length of the wire is this. Don't forget to use the unit value feet. Okay? Let's move on to our next problem. Okay, next problem. Again, let's try to illustrate it. First, sabi dito, a ladder 36 feet long rests against a wall. So this is a wall. Let's say that this is a wall. There's a ladder which is 36 feet. Ibig sabihin, nakasandal daw siya dito sa wall. Nakasandal siya sa pader. This ladder is 36 feet. Its foot being at horizontal distance of 25 feet from the base. Yung horizontal distance niya daw from the base is 25 feet. What angle does the ladder make with the ground? This is the ladder, this is the ground. Ibig sabihin, the angle it is referring to is this angle. So, ano daw yung angle na to? So, basically guys, ang given lang sa atin is two sides. Two sides, which is the hypotenuse and the adjacent to this angle. So, what trig function has both the adjacent and hypotenuse? That is cosine. Di ba? Because cosine theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. So, we will use the cosine theta. So, cosine theta is what we are finding, the angle, the value of that angle. Adjacent natin, guys, is 25. And our hypotenuse is, the value of hypotenuse is 36. So solving that, use our calculator, that would be equal to shift, always remember, that's shift cos, then input the value 25 over 36, and we will get the value theta is equals to 46.02 degrees. Alright? Don't forget, if you are solving this, sa calculator natin, yung mangyari dyan would be shift cos, tapos input natin yung value na 25 over 36 to get the certain value. Alright? So, the angle that it makes is this angle. Okay, so now let's move on for our next problem. First, kailangan nating illustrate anong sinasabi niya. From the top of the building 60 feet high, ibig sabihin, meron daw tayong building which is 60 feet high. This is 60 feet, so mga bintana yan. This is 60 feet building. Now, the angle of elevation of the vertical pole, so ibig sabihin may vertical pole pa tayo. This is the pole, siguro flag pole, ganon. Yan, this is a vertical pole. Now, from the top of the building, simula daw dito hanggang sa top ng vertical pole, dito hanggang dito, the angle of elevation, this is the angle of elevation, is this angle, is 14 degrees. So, let's label that as 14 degrees. Now, mula daw sa bottom, at the bottom of the building, from the bottom of the building, dito, this is the bottom of the building, the angle of elevation and to the top is 28 degrees. So, this is the top of the pole hanggang sa bottom ng building. Sabi dito, ito daw is 28 degrees. So, if these are the given, we are tasked now to find first is the height of the pole. This, we are tasked to find the height of the pole. And next is the distance of the pole from the building. Ngayon guys, we need to give values. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo, sabi dito, yung building is 60. Ibig sabihin, this part is already 60. Pero hindi natin alam kung ano yung remaining value ng part na to. So, let's give a variable for that. I will give it as x. And also dito, hinahanap rin natin kung ano yung distance nito. I will name that y. Alright? So, since after nasulat na natin yan, we can now solve for the certain equations. We can use any trig functions for this, but I prefer tangent. Bakit tangent, guys? Because tangent theta is, we know, is opposite over adjacent. Ang hinahanap nating parts is the opposite of this and the adjacent. We don't care, we don't mind for the hypotenuse at all. So, this is the best suitable na trig function na gagamitin natin. Okay, so first, we find first the tangent 14. Tangent of 14 degrees is equals to opposite. What is opposite of 14 is x. What is adjacent of 14 is the same as y, right? Kasi same value sila over y. So, to solve for this, I will put y dito sa kabilang side para maging isang diretsong equation siya. That's y times tan 14 is equals to x. So, solving that, we use our calculator. We evaluate tan 14 is equals to 0.25, approximately 0.25. So, that's 0.25y is equals to x. Okay. Now, I'll now solve for the value of tan 28 degrees. Okay. Dito naman tayo. Solving for that, that would be equal to, the opposite is this whole vertical pole. So that would be 60 plus x. Gets? Opposite of 28 is this vertical pole, that's 60. I-add natin to kasi kasama to, 60 plus x. Over what is adjacent to 28 is also the same as y. That's tan 28. Okay? I'll put y to the other side of the equation. So that's y times tan 28, 60 plus x. Okay? So evaluate natin. Tan 28 using the calculator is equals to approximately 0.53. So this is equal to 0.53y is equals to 60 plus x. So guys, kung mapapansin nyo, we have formed two linear equations. This is the equation 1 and this is the equation 2. So, pwede na nating mahanap yung values ng y and values ng x using systems of linear equations. So, let's write it down. Negative 0.25y is equals to x is also equal to 0.53y is equals to 60 plus x. So, we can solve this using elimination. Isusubtract na lang natin yan para yung x natin ma-eliminate and we can solve for the value of y. So, that's x minus x. That will be cancelled. Negative 0 minus 60 is equals to negative 60. 0.25 minus 0.53 is negative 0.28y. So, to solve for the value of y, let's divide it by negative 0.28. Let's divide it by 0.28. The value of y would be equal to 200. The value of our y, guys, is 214.28. So, that's the value of our y. This, yung distance from the building to the bottom of the pole is 214.28. Now, next is isolve naman natin kung ano yung value ng x. So, to solve for the value of x, we can just equate that dito. So, that's 0.25y is equals to x. Ang value ng ating y is 0.25 times 214.28 is equals to x. So, to solve for that, 214.28 times 0.25, that's equal to 53. 53.57. So guys, the value of our x, ito, is 53.57. Pero, take note guys, ang tinatanong niya is yung height of the pole. So, to solve for the height of the pole, we would add 60 from here. Height would be equal to 53.57 plus 60 feet. So, that would be equal to 113.57. 113.57. So basically guys, we arrive with the final answer that the height is 113.57 and the value of the distance of the pole to the building is 214.28 feet. Okay? So these are our answers. Alright. Sabi dito, two ships leave a port at the same time. So, meron tayong pantalan. Do we call that pantalan in Tagalog? Siguro ito yung dagat. Siguro ito yung dagat, tapos dito yung land. Ganon. Okay, so may ship dito. Let's say that the ship starts from this. Okay? Okay, let's use another color. So, the ship starts from here. Okay, two ships leave a port at the same time. So, same silang umalis. The first ship sails on a course of 35 degrees. Okay. Ibig sabihin, ang unang ship natin, let's use the ship A as color yellow. Okay. Ang ating first ship is nag-travel ng 35 degrees. So, let's assume na meron tayong dito. This is 90 degrees. 90. This is 0. Okay. I-solve natin yung si ship A is nag-travel lang siya ng 35 degrees. So, from here, nag-travel siya ng 35 degrees. So, ito yung ship A natin. Yan yung tin-travel niya. And at 15 knots. What do we mean by knots? Knots, guys, is a measure of speed. Parang meters per second, kilometers per hour. which is same as knots. So, in conversion, 1 knot, guys, is equals to 1.15 mile an hour per hour. So, yan po yung speed ng 1 knot. This is, yung speed ng ano dito na pagpunta is 115 knots. Okay. Now, sabi dito, ang second ship natin, our second ship sails on a course of 125 degrees at 20 knots. So, let's measure kung nasan ba yung 125 degrees. So, dito, nag-travel siya from 0 hanggang dito, so that's 90 degrees. Ibig sabihin, nabawasan na siya ng 90 degrees. Ibig sabihin, 125 minus 90 is 35. So, from here, dito hanggang dito is, this is 35 degrees, guys. Nag-travel siya ng speed na 20 knots yung speed niya. Okay. Ang tanong, pagkatapos ng 2 oras, ano na yung pagitan ng 2 ship? Ibig sabihin, after 2 hours, what's the distance of this? Ibig sabihin, andito na yung isang ship, andito na rin yung isang ship. Ano na ngayon yung pagitan daw nila? Yan yung tinatanong, yan yung sa A. How can we solve that? Basically, guys, kung mapapansin nyo, we have formed a right angle. Bakit right angle? If you would try to look at this, that's 90 degrees. And ito, yung part na to, if we would subtract that, 90 minus 35 is equals to 55 degrees. So this is 55 degrees. If we would add that, 55 plus 35 is 90. Ibig sabihin, this is a right angle. Mas magandang i-rewrite na lang natin to in a right angle way para makita natin ng mas maayos. Okay? So that's a right angle already. This is 90 degrees. This is 20 knots. This is 15 knots. Okay. This is the first ship. This is the second. This is the first. Let's name this as the first ship. And this is the second ship. Okay. Ngayon, guys, ang hinahanap natin dito is yung hypotenuse. This side. Alright? So, to find that, kailangan muna nating ma-identify ano ba yung distance nito. Kasi yung value na 20 tsaka yung value na 15 are only speed. So, let's try to find out ano nga ba yung distance na na-cover nila dito. So, to find that, we used our conversion unit, 15 knots. 15 knots. Convert natin yan into this, into this value. That would be, let's multiply. 1 knot is equal to 1.15 mile per hour. So, solving that, that would be equal to 15. Magka-cancel po, guys. Guys, magka-cancel yung knots natin. Magka-cancel yung knots. Magka-cancel yung knots. 15 times 1.15 is equals to 17. This is equals to 17.25 miles per hour. Okay? So, this is the speed of this. Pero, hindi pa dyan tayo nag-end sa conversion. Kasi, speed pa lang to. Sabi niya dito, after 2 hours. So, within 2 hours, ano na yung nag-travel niyang distance? So, i-convert ulit natin yan. So, that's 2 hours times 17.25 miles per hour. Magka-cancel yung R, magka-cancel yung R. So, we solve for the value. That's 17.25 times 2 is equals to 34.5. Ibig sabihin, that's 34.5. Ibig sabihin, guys, ito, ang distance nito ay 34.5 miles. I hope you're getting it. Now, as we did here, isosolve rin natin kung ano yung distance nito. So, solving for that, let's create some spaces here. Solving for that, we multiply 20 knots times 1 point, ang conversion natin, which is 1 point, that's 1.15 miles per hour over 1 knot. Magka-cancel yung knot. 20 times 1.15 is equal to 23. Ibig sabihin, ang speed niyan is 23 miles per hour. Ngayon, 2 hours din siya. After 2 hours, so ibig sabihin, after 2 hours, ano na yung speed, ano na yung distance na na-cover niya. So, that's times 23 miles per, oh my God, 23 miles per hour. Magka-cancel yung hour. Yung natira na lang nating value, that's 23 times 2 is equals to 46. Ibig sabihin, 46 miles. 46 miles, yan yung distance na na-cover niya. So, dito guys, balik tayo sa ating, this distance is 46. Okay? This is 46. So, since if that's 46 and this is 34.5, we can now solve for the value of our hypotenuse using Pythagorean theorem. Gets? Diba? Madali, diba? So, that's c squared is equals to a squared plus b squared. So, solving that, c squared, ano yung value ng ating a? The value of our a, any of this, would be 46 squared plus 34.5 squared. So, solving that, that would be equal to, gamit lang tayo ng calculator, 46 squared plus 34.5 squared is equals to 3306.25. So, that's c squared. Square root natin yan. The value of our c, square root of 3306 is equals to 57.5. 57.5 guys. Ito na ngayon. This is the value of our hypotenuse. So, yung answering the problem A, sabi dito, distance between the ships, the distance after 2 hours from point A tsaka point B is 57.5 miles. Gets? This is our answer. Second, letter B. Ngayon, tinatanong niya, the bearing from the first ship, this is A, to the second, first ship to the second ship. Ibig sabihin, tinatanong niya, ano yung angle nito? Angle ng first ship sa second. And to solve for that, so let's solve for B. So, we are solving for the angle A. So, to solve for the angle A, you can use any trig functions na gusto nyo. For me, I prefer siguro sine A. Okay, sine A is opposite over hypotenuse. So, opposite of A is 46 and the hypotenuse is 57.5. So, to solve for that, sine A is equals to 46 over 57.5. The angle A is equals to, sa calculator guys, that shift sine 46 divided by 57.5, the answer is 53 degrees. Okay, so that's approximately 53 degrees. Now, next, sabi niyo dito, letter C, find the bearing of the second ship to the first. Ibig sabihin, they are looking for this value. So, to solve for that value, so let's solve for angle B. To solve for angle B, you can use, again, any trig functions that you want. Pero, guys, take a look. Given na sa atin yung isang angle. Ibig sabihin, given na yung A. So, remember that a triangle, guys, is equals to 180 degrees. Alam na natin na this is 90. Alam na rin natin na ang isang side is 53 degrees. So, yung hinahanap lang natin is yung angle B. And pag i-add lahat natin yan, that would be equal to 180 degrees. So, para mahanap yan, 90 plus 53 is 143. 143 plus B equals 180. Transpose natin yung 143 sa kabila para mahanap yung B. 180 minus 143. 180 minus 143. Ang value ng ating angle B is equal to 37 degrees. So we are left with these values. So the angle is 53, angle is B. So that's it guys. I hope naintindihan nyo. Thank you. Bye-bye mga pare ko.